Hi there, I have a Shadowbox card to share with you today and some kind of fun things you can do with some of the pieces that go with it. I'll take you through the dies we'll be using. This is the Shadowbox accessory called Feel Better Soon. This is the actual Shadowbox. Now it comes with gardening things, but you can mix and match with all the accessory kits. We're going to be doing some embossing with the dotted matrix embossing folder, the Pinpoint folder, and creating some frames with the Scalloped Lattice Frames B and the original Stitch Lattice frames. Now these have been designed to work specifically with the Shadowboxes. Okay, so I think we'll start with some embossing. Let me grab my raspberry adapter plate here and I'll give you a quick measurement. This is a piece of coconut white card, 5.5 by 6 3/4. Pop that into our dotted matrix and bring in my adapter plate. There we go. Quick pass through. We're going to use this for texture behind the Shadowbox. Go. So I've gone ahead and cut the Shadowbox. These boxes cut out automatically with the die. I've added some mounting foam on the back. So we'll go ahead and get that seated. Lots of peeling the little bits. This is definitely one of those items that I recommend adding mounting foam to all the little sections, especially when you use the Shadowbox as a whole piece. That way you won't have any saggy shadow areas. Okay, and I think I'll just put this down this direction. Let's see if I can lean in a little bit. There we go. It's a tiny bit long on this end, so I'm just going to nip it down with the scissors. There we go. So you can see I've got a nice little shadow area with my dotted matrix showing through. Now I've got a couple frames that I've gone ahead and started to cut for us. So I've cut a wide white frame that will go on here. So I'm going to go ahead and place that onto the Shadowbox. And this was just cut using the dies in the Scalloped Lattice Frames B. And the largest and the smallest piece. There we go. And I want to add a red and a black edge to that. So what I'm going to do is I've got the outside cut for this one. We're going to add a little bit of tape. Tape this just so it's centered. That looks pretty good. And we'll cut this one first. Bring in my cutting plate. Pop that on. And I'm going to just tip it a little bit at an angle. It's just easier to go through that way. So that's the piece we want from that. So I'm going to come back to that in a second. You can save this for another card. Put this back into place. And I'm going to cut a black piece using the inside from the original Stitch Lattice frames. Put that into place there. Tape this one. Okay. Go. Carefully peel that off. And we've got a piece we can use again for something else there as well. Pop those back into place. Okay, so now I should be able to seat this one down first and then have the red just go over the edge of that. So I'll just go in with a little bit of glue. Run a bead all the way around. There we go. And these two frames will mat and layer with smaller increments when you have them both. They look like they're the same cut edge, but they are not. They will fit into each other. So rather than having 1/4 inch differences in the size, you can have 1/8 inch, which is really nice, especially if you want to do a multi-layer frame like this. And then we're going to have the red go right around the edge here. Little bit of glue. There we go. And that should just show the black peeping out from underneath it. Let me get that on nice and straight. The glue gives you a second. You can kind of move it around a little bit too. There we go. That looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and put that into the center of our background, and then we'll start filling all our little shadow areas. Just use some quick glue here. Okay. Now the nice thing about these is you can use them on any direction you like. We are going to fill this one so it goes horizontally. So first thing I'm going to do is cut my little Band-Aid. So I'm going to bring in this piece here and pop it into place. And since we have room on our cutting plate, I'm also going to cut the little thermometer. Pop that one in place too. I think everything else I have already cut. Yeah. Now this Band-Aid is just so cute, or plaster if you call it plaster also. I'm going to give it a little bit of emboss there. Just bring that area that's raised up. Pop it out. So cute. And if you use this shade of, this is Papyrus, it does look a little like a plaster or a Band-Aid. I'm going to go ahead and pop a tiny bit of glue in the center here and pick up a tiny heart that's in the set I've already cut. Just seat that in the middle. Give it a little straightening there. Give that a second to set up. I'm going to bring over the thermometer. There we go. Pop that out. And what's nice is you can actually fill in a little bit of, let's see, let's live dangerously. Let's go to the large tip. This is a barn door distress marker, and I'm going to just fill in this bottom section. There we go. And I think I'll use the other end. We can kind of go up the edge here, and there's little hash marks marked into it, and you can pop those in. And I'll freehand this going up to there. Okay, so now we've got that ready to go. A little bit of mounting foam. Should be able to put that right into place. And that one will fill up this section really nicely. I've got a couple of the larger, these are like little heart plasters. I've cut them in red, and I'm going to just put them in the upper and lower boxes here. And then we have a red cross to go in the center there. Tiny bit of mounting foam on the back. And I've just added a little bit of a white pencil to accent those. Now, the other thing I've done, and I did this ahead of time because it's a little bit fiddly, I cut the little aspirin bottle in white and in black, and then I used it with the centerpiece. This will cut out the middle of it, and I've done this one here, and I added a piece of acetate, and I've put mounting foam all the way around the edge and some breath mints in there. Okay, you can use Tic Tacs or anything. So I'm going to pop this onto the back of it and make it like a tiny little shaker. Just use my pokey tool to straighten up my mounting foam a little bit so you can see those. And then what I'm going to do is take the top off this black one, and I'm going to add it like a lid onto the original one here. Just looks really cute like this. Give that a second so you can see that. Isn't that sweet? And then we'll just add a little glue on the back. We can pop that into this larger section down here. And I'm going to add the thermometer with that as well. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of it. Kind of offset it a little bit at an angle. Give it a second to set up. And we'll put our sentiment up in the top. I've cut the Feel Better Soon twice out of white, and I've done it once out of black. So I'm just going to add a little bit of spray glue to the back of this and give it a quick shadow. Oops, get the start of it. It's up to you how much shadow you want to show. It can be very, very fine, or you can add a little more to it. And because I've got the texture there, I'm going to go back in with the glue because it'll be stronger. We'll get it to stick on with that. Turn it. There we go. That fits perfectly in that upper box right there. And I just want to add a little teeny bit of Cosmic Lacquer right onto that thermometer. Now, just want to be very tiny with it, so right down on that little spot there. And I would let that dry, but you have a nice lacquered look to your thermometer. In fact, I don't want to hold that one up since it's still wet, but you can see how cute that looks. So I just think that'd be a lovely card to send to a friend that's just feeling a little bit under the weather. Hope you've enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to look for us on our YouTube channel and subscribe.